Greetings, Twilight Struggle fans, and welcome to the ITSL playoffs here on Action Round Zero. I'm Justin Abramson. Wain Yee joins me on the call, and today we've got an absolutely star-studded matchup as two of Twilight Struggle's biggest names meet in a clash worthy of a grand final, but it's only round two. On one side, we've got Ziemowit Pazderski, the most decorated player in the game, but one who just barely squeaked into the postseason thanks to a victory in his final regular season game. On the other hand, it's Jarib Flores, the defending conference champion, who went 15-5 in the regular year, but still finished a game short of a division title. So instead of these two titans meeting up in late July, we've got them here for you right here, right now, as two of the game's brightest stars go head-to-head in Twilight Struggle's big dance on Action Round Zero, Twilight Struggle's biggest stage. We will have Game 1 and Game 2 for you in this series. Should Game 3 become necessary, we will have that for you right here on ARZ at a later date. Now let's bring in Wain Yee. Wain, I think we can agree that we should pour one out for David Ari, who has the unfortunate task of facing the winner of this series. But for now, enough context. Let's dive right in. What do you think of these opening hands? Now, Ziemowit is the USA, Jarib the USSR, so we'll see his hand on bottom. What are your thoughts here?
Okay, yes, looking at this hand, I mean, Jarib has all the ops, good access card, Vietnam Revolt, definitely great. So standard. Oh, look at Ziemowit's 4-1-3-2 setup. That's interesting. All right, now look at Jarib, what he's trying to say to it. Oh, he has Defector and Sotgov.
Yeah, and
Defector, true.
Does have Defectors, but he's not headlining it. He's instead going containment.
Ooh, interesting. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so that's Ziemowit just trying to make a little head fake against Jarib, trying to get him to not headline aggressively with that kind of fake defector setup. It doesn't work because Vietnam was was Harib's best option anyway, and now we see the duck coup.
Exactly. And now Asia is all Habib. Pretty much. Yep, and it just wiped out all the Middle East, and it looking pretty good and free for Harib's hand now.
Certainly is, and and Jarib also makes the perfect roll in Iran, gets a 3, a 4 or 5. Certainly, you'd see a coup back, but now Ziemowit with no access anywhere, and Jarib should be able to take an Asia Dom at his leisure. Ziemowit with no choice but to score it for him later.
He should score it right now, though, don't you think?
Yeah, that's is an option. Oh, but Ziemowit, now let's be fair, Ziemowit does have containment, so maybe he wants to try and push him a little bit here.
Okay, well, also Jarib has Middle East scoring, so he has a little bit, some other responsibility to do as well.
That's true, and a good play by Ziemowit to go into both Jordan and Malaysia to force Jarib to either forfeit his Vietnam bonus if he wants to fill Iraq and Thailand, or make him or allow Ziemowit into Iraq.
Very true. You seldom see a USA player enter Jordan. This is Jordan, right? I forgot.
Yes.
I don't even remember that name.
Yes,
that early in that Jordan in early war. Usually, you only do that after Camp David Accord evented, right?
Yeah, it's unusual to see it, but the only time you will see it typically is when a coup empties Iran. Okay, so
exactly.
Yep. So So Ziemowit fills up Malaysia and Philippines to stop Asia Dom. Now Jarib can easily retake it.
And
Burma or Afghanistan. What would you do here, Wayne? Would you use blockade to take Burma? Oh, he's looking at maybe not retaking Asia Dom.
Well, because Middle East age scoring is a lot more important.
Yeah. Yeah. So a tough play here, tough call here for Jarib. He has obviously, as you know, he has Middle East scoring in his hand, but Ziemowit has Asia. And Jarib cannot both, unless he uses China, of course, which I can't imagine he would. He can't both take Iran and take Asia Dom. So tough call for him here. So he could either fill up Iran with a 2-up. He could use blockade and fill Burma. Use the Vietnam bonus for that. It's a tough call here for Jarib, and good for Ziemowit for pressuring him here with containment.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you now.
Okay, all right, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I mean, I think he gave up Asia now and going for a fork with Iran and protecting Iran and then also breaking West Germany. So but I'm not sure that's really causing much threat to Ziemowit because Ziemowit has some good ops on his hand, obviously, and then he can easily protect France with 2 ops, which certainly he has it.
Yeah, he can easily protect France if he wants to. He's also now Ziemowit with 5 countries to 4 in Asia, so he's not going to be particularly worried about Asia Dom. But Jarib also just used U.S. Japan for that, so Ziemowit can probably assume Jarib does not have another 4. He wouldn't want to use U.S. Japan in a situation like this. Certainly, he would have used Purge or NTB or NATO first. Ooh, and an interesting little break of Iran.
Seems a pretty good read from Ziemowit's side. He knows what the priority that Jarib is going for. Don't you think?
Yeah. And Jarib tries a coup. A 1 or a 2 there would have been an absolute disaster, but he gets just enough. Ziemowit dumps Asia. Jarib dumps Middle East. 1 VP for both. So good on Ziemowit for fighting off that Asia domination.
Yep, and so, but the word it cost him 2 VP for the middle off, so.
Yep. So Jarib picks up 1 in Asia. Jarib picks up 1 in the Middle East.
I expected maybe you should.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. See how Ziemowit just in the chat said saying to Jarib he actually expected about the Middle East. So. Yeah. Oh, overprotecting. Wow.
Okay, and Jarib gonna use so.
So for protecting, okay.
So again, Ziemowit's a great player, but as commentators, we are he's arguably the greatest of all time. But as commentators, it's our job to question his moves. I'm a little surprised Ziemowit did not use C5 there instead of defectors. I think defectors might be a better hold here than UN. I don't love holding UN with blockade around. And yeah, UN's not going to do you much good here with decall, destall, and blockade in Jarib's hand. Oh, and there's Purge. Okay.
Ooh, okay. But the factor is not out. Yep. Yeah. I mean, that's usually what they call it. 50% chance now? Like the USA will headline decall that headline defector if your USSR haven't seen it in the first 2 turns, right?
Yeah. And if Ziemowit had defectors here, perhaps Jarib would be a little bit nervous about headlining Purge. But containment is gone, and defectors is gone as well. So yeah, Jarib goes with the Purge. I think I would have rather seen Jarib. I would have rather seen Ziemowit play UN and hold defectors.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, of course, if defectors were around, he could have headlined it, and then Jarib headlines Europe scoring, and then Ziemowit is sad. Okay. But now, the Purge
even more sad, I would say.
Yeah, we're going to see blockade. Ziemowit cannot discard to it.
So he will have to lose 1 turn and spay the cell. Well, I guess in that sense, is either 5 VP or losing 1 turn. So it's still a manageable hand. Not the end of the world.
Ziemowit won't have the choice because he cannot discard a 4. He doesn't have a 4-up to discard the blockade. So he's going to have to space destall, play UN for ops, and hold decall. And Jarib is he's not going to score Europe domination in all likelihood, although maybe he will with this terrible terrible handful of 1-ops, although Jarib probably doesn't want to fill up West Germany.
Well, he would just event blockade and then and then score Europe for 0.
I think that's what he would do, yes. Right. Unless he wants to get aggressive in Europe because he fill up West Germany, try for domination, because he didn't get any D cards. He
is gambling whether Ziemowit has NTB or not, and he got it.
Yeah. So we have not seen Marshall.
NTB.
But yeah.
Whew.
So Ziemowit gonna go into Pakistan. And now, you take Europe
down. He takes you down.
Yeah, you definitely take Europe down.
Yep, there, yep.
And he's going
That's a 10-point swing. Yep. 10-point swing.
And Ziemowit needs a 2-op here. Oh, he's going to UN decall. Again, I don't really understand this. I would much rather hold decall through.
You can't really hold any card in this hand.
You can, though, because you didn't discard the blockade.
Oh, he didn't. Right, you're right. He didn't discard. Okay, yeah. This is playing way too fast, so I'm losing count. But yes, you're right.
So Jarib gets the Europe domination, correctly reads that Ziemowit's hand is full of 1-op. Ziemowit just needed a 2-op to stop that dom. And now Nasser, yeah, this is looking quite ugly for Ziemowit, despite the fact that Jarib has not gotten any access cards yet. I suppose that, he's not gotten any D cards. He's gotten Nasser and Vietnam. Those obviously both matter.
Going for the
yeah, I think you gotta fill Libya here. One South Korea seems fine. One Syria seems fine.
The Middle East scoring is likely to come back. If not turn 3, then it probably won't come back, in the middle war. So either way. But South Korea is probably more top priority, actually.
Yeah. Boy, wish for Ziemowit's sake that he had held on to defectors heading into turn 2. This turn might have gone differently.
Yeah. Definitely.
Worst case scenario for Ziemowit, he headlines defectors. Jarib headlines Europe scoring. You feel sad, but then it's at least zero instead of you're losing West Germany and getting a domination scored on you.
But then you can, Jarib can still purge again.
Yeah, Jarib could do a purge maybe after cooing. Oh boy, Asia.
Oh boy.
Okay, he tries the realigns on Fidel and hits him in one roll. Okay, here we are, turn 3. So Ziemowit redraws decall, so he's all of a sudden not sad about about UNing it. Jarib, though, redraws purge. He gets Marshall and Middle East.
Will you purge him again?
I think so, right? Ziemowit has much better use of his ops than we do of ours. Ziemowit wants to fill Algeria, walk up to Cameroon, take Mexico. Meantime, we don't really have access here. So yeah, I think I like the purge.
Again, Jarib's hand is pretty free, full of a lot of ops to use. So the force actually really not much useful. He can easily queue with Iran with the big coup with UN and Marshall.
Yep, NORAD goes right to space.
And then Tikal will actually grant him Algeria. So
yeah,
and then with the Truman on his hand.
For the event if he won.
Now a question here, now you have Tikal and Truman on your hand. Will you try actually go for the Europe control with, maybe brush to Italy, then now you got a whole control of Europe. If you're the USSR.
Yeah, you could have jammed. Could have gone de Gaulle and then jammed 4 into France with Truman in your hand. But I think I like the purge a little bit better. Ziemowit, for his part, saves 3 VP by going duck. Not happy to see that purge, no question. But interesting decision here for Jarib. Okay, going to go for the Pakistan flip with IP war in his hand. Going to dare Ziemowit to take India. Ziemowit would probably respond to this by dumping Asia immediately, don't you think? Because it's not going to get better for him.
No. And with 2 scoring cards in his hand, it's pretty tight for Ziemowit. So, unfortunately, those are unknown cards to... Wow, all these 3 scoring cards appear in turn 3.
Yep. All 3 scoring cards come back immediately. Usually favors the USSR, and that's what's going to happen here. So Asia was even, now just 2 for Jarib. So Jarib picks up another 2 VP. He will score a Middle East domination as well, and potentially a Europe domination. We'll see.
I think it's pretty likely.
Yeah. Ziemowit also in the unfortunate position where he's got to give Jarib his mill ops. Now Jarib can get them anyway with IP war, but they may play a little game of chicken. And Ziemowit Not even going to contest Europe, given what he knows is in Harib's hand. He could have taken Greece to stop the Dom, but Harib would have just reestablished. Ziemowit,
No.
which is going to likely become 14.
15.
Yeah. And
and then with the pack, and if you win, then you can the 2 more mill up, and if you win the war, then you can get 2 more. Oh boy, would that end just right here in this turn?
yeah, so Harib may be thinking about, can I win the game this turn? This is going to be 15 for Harib if he scores now. He could also take Saudi to make it 16. Milops would win the IP war, and the war would be 20. If Ziemowit misses his space roll, Ziemowit will certainly space sock govs.
Or decal.
Can't space decal, he's purged.
Oh, you can't. All right, you're right. Okay. Going greedy. Well, it's also the right play as well.
Greedy play from Harib, but I don't blame him for it. He doesn't have access. He doesn't have anything better to do with his ops.
Other than jamming, so yep, definitely.
Yeah, Europe is scored. Asia is scored. He certainly doesn't want to go Colombia here. He has nothing in Africa, nothing in South America. I have no problem with this. I like this play for Harib.
Yep. And UN Marshals, what's better than that, really?
Yep. And Ziemowit is doing some math here and not pleased with what he's seeing. Because he's going to have to give up the Korean War or decal. But here we go. Middle East is 4. Milops is 2 more, and IP War or Korean War could be 2. Okay, Ziemowit.
Oh, good.
The space roll.
The space. Okay.
So
that delayed the game a little bit.
Yeah, that could mean we extend the game by
for how long? Or okay.
But you still could see 2 successful
wars. Yep.
And that would do it.
So USSR just need 2, 5, and 6, and he'll win the game this turn.
Yep. Oh, and that's successful.
Oh, he got 1. That's 1. Good luck, huh?
Now Ziemowit, I suppose.
Well, he can spay. Oh, he invented it. Yeah. That was close.
Yeah, Ziemowit can't.
That was close.
He's purged, so couldn't have spaced Korean War. Now I suppose he could have given up decal instead of Korean War, but certainly you don't want to do that. I think you just have to hope the war misses, and indeed it did. So now Ziemowit presumably takes Algeria, and fills up Angola. Okay, so here we go to turn 4. Ziemowit survives. Oh, but we will bury you.
Bury you.
Will presumably do it. Ziemowit does not have UN in his hand. UN's in the discard. Ziemowit would need a headline salt here to stop a "We will bury you" headline from winning the game.
No, right? You will bury you when you win game straightly, right? You got free BP.
We will bury you. Ziemowit could salt for UN.
Oh, salt for UN. Okay.
But Ziemowit can't see this headline. So I seriously doubt he was going to headline salt.
I doubt he was salt. Yeah, I doubt it. I doubt it.
Not a very good headline.
Have we ever headline salt? Have you?
Yeah, I mean, there's certain situations where it's good, but here, you giving Harib 2 coups in Africa seems really bad. Yeah, and VOA is
VOA is reasonable. That is GG.
That's GG. Okay, so congratulations to Harib for his victory in Game 1. Frustrating loss for Ziemowit, I'm sure. Never really had a chance, but boy, really wish he had held
the defector,
defectors to turn 2.
But also 2 RSP purge, that was pretty insane. That's also pretty insane hand. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No question.
Lucky. Wow, that was like what, 10, 15, 25 minutes game. Not one for the history books, Ziemowit said.
Yeah. So 16 minutes on Harib's side. Ziemowit spent 9. So about a 25-minute game. Okay, folks. Well, I know you all wanted some great theater here. But good news. We have Game 2 coming right up. So Game 1 was a dud. Harib gets the win on turn 4. But we will have Game 2 for you here coming up momentarily. And we will have the 2 players will switch sides. And we will get to that. So thank
So
you.
who was the highest? Who was the highest in this series right here? Who picks sides which?
Sorry, folks. I'm just trying to get to the next video.
Okay.
Here.
Oh, you just skipped that. Okay.
Sorry. Sorry about that.
Okay. You're. I'm losing you again. I'm losing.
Okay. Here I am.
Hello. All right. Game 2.
Yep, we are on to the second game of this contest. Sorry for the technical difficulties, folks. For some reason
You're recording, right?
Yes, we're still recording. I never stopped it. So
Okay, excellent.
here we are for game 2.
One.
Jarib as the U.S., Ziemowit as the USSR necessarily. Okay, wow.
Oh boy,
That's a nice U.S. hand. Let's take a look at the USSR hand. Thank you to our executive producer, Anton Scott, by the way, for giving us both hands for these games. Oh, and there's Vietnam Duck.
Oh boy. Oh. Vietnam Duck. But it's a pretty blue hand. But it's not a miserable blue hand.
Yeah. So certainly a nice hand for Jarib. A nice hand for Ziemowit as well, but I certainly prefer Jarib's. Jarib can take
a lot about
a Europe domination in the headline with Marshall. He can go 3-3-2 instead of 3-2-3 because he has Sock Govs. Doesn't have to worry about an Italy coup. And then, boy, this is a hand where I'd think about holding containment for turn 2.
Yes. Because you have enough ops to reach to Libya, and then event Egypt, not a problem.
Okay.
So
no surprise there. Jarib goes Canada instead of Greece, probably because Ziemowit is in Austria instead of Yugoslavia. Ziemowit goes with the duck coup. And rolls a 6. That's the other roll you want. You want a 3 or a 6 on that coup. And Ziemowit gets the roll he needs. Now the Jordan play doesn't work. So what do you do here? My temptation might be to event Korean War, try and steal South Korea here, but I think you've got to get out of Israel first. What do you like, Wayne?
I would do a Korean War before, since these are standard play anyway. Unlike it's unlikely they will remove your Israel. USSR won't play AI war. They won't do Suez. They have way more obligation to do in Southeast Asia. So either play will work.
Yep, but now I think Ziemowit. This is a fine play too because Ziemowit is going to. You get his Vietnam bonus in and take Thailand, and then I think you trigger the war.
In Team Hong Kong, we actually call this a standard move. If you have plenty of off for USA, always Lebanon, 2 Egypt, 1 Malaysia. No question about it.
Yep. There goes independent Reds into
and blocked it. So now is the question.
So he's going to do this. I like this play. Oh, and the war misses.
Oh,
take South Korea. So it looks like he's still going to be dominated in Asia.
Yeah, but at least the damage won't be too bad.
Yep.
But you have to lose the Middle Ops 2 VP again. Yep. A coup for Egypt. Oh no. Oh, go for the Panama.
Yeah, would have needed a big roll in Egypt. Would have needed a 5 to get in there. And Panama just need a 3 to knock him out and accomplish something. So Jarib now can score Europe if he wants to.
Or space first. I would go space first though.
Would you space though with blockade around?
You are right. Good point.
So,
but that's 2 VP.
Yeah, you definitely are giving Nasser here, I would think. So you got to get into Libya. You can go 1 Indonesia to stop Dom. Or excuse me, one Malaysia is better, certainly.
And also fill in Panama eventually.
Yep, that makes sense as well. So certainly to Libya. Certainly 1 in Southeast Asia to stop Dom. The question is, where does the 4th one go? thinking about an overprotect.
Indonesia.
Overprotect is fine. I like Indonesia maybe a little better.
Yeah. Indonesia.
Because now a simple Laos take doesn't reestablish Dom.
You can also have India in the back, and Ziemowit is saying something. I have seen cards with this number before in your hand. Oh, okay.
Yeah, a lesson here, folks. Generally, the cards with the higher numbers are better.
and also the dice.
Yep. And Ziemowit
generally
understands that. Yes. So Ziemowit presumably wants to. I don't think he'll probably reestablish Asia Dom here. I think this might be a good opportunity to space. But he might. Okay, let's see what he does. Oh. That's interesting.
He wants to go for it. Make the most out of the Vietnam Revolt.
Yep. So using his
go communists. Yes.
I might have. Okay. Again, Ziemowit, arguably the greatest of all time. I certainly am not. I might have foregone that and filled up Iraq, Middle East battlegrounds. But Ziemowit does put some serious pressure on. He reestablishes Asia Dom, and he threatens Indonesia as well, which he can now flip with a 2-op. Although I suspect Ziemowit will want to space NORAD, use Truman, and hold defectors. And Jarib, for his part, just wants to get his scoring out. Oh, Ziemowit not going to hold defectors. He's going to flip Indonesia here, presumably.
No, why don't you just take Malaysia? Isn't it better?
Once the Indonesia flip, so he'll give up the VP, put defectors back in the deck.
But hey, last play, why don't we just take Malaysia, 2 Malaysia, and then put 1 Burma? Would that be better?
Yeah, could have
instead
been.
of flipping Indonesia, which is also easily flipped by the USA again.
Yeah. Now Truman is probably going to take Malaysia here, or maybe 1 Malaysia, 1 Burma.
No, he's overprotecting.
Overprotect. Okay.
He wants to secure and keep his Asia Dom and make sure USA has no way to fight next turn.
Yep, that makes sense.
I think that's the most plan. He saw it coming into North Korea. Oh, come on.
I see. So, yeah, I was going to suggest that I was going to comment that the 4th into Italy was a little weird, given that Jarib had sock govs in his hand. But it makes sense. If he wants to use it for ops and not repair, then the 4th makes sense.
But Truman just gone.
Yeah, Truman was gone. So, yeah, Ziemowit did have access before he played Truman. But yeah, now you just space sock govs. He misses on the roll.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jarib takes a 5VP lead into turn 2. He picks up 2 scoring cards, though, which I suspect he's not pleased with. This is a fine containment hand. Other than that, though,
containment still the better headline here.
Yep.
Unless you want to do, let's see, Middle East, you probably won't get any better. We will score at Middle East now?
I think you dump Middle East in the headline. It's not. You're right. It's not going to get any better. And then blockade dumps De Gaulle. Yeah, blockade or containment would get us, assuming we discarded Formosan to blockade. Blockade or containment would get us, looks like 5 ops. That's a pretty good containment. Okay, well,
it's all right. Yeah. Well, it just canceled it out. Okay.
Just gonna cancel out purge instead. Now we'll see.
And on the other side, Ziemowit has a pretty okay hand. Oh, yeah. You're gonna dump it right away. Yeah.
Could have gone to Middle East in the headline and then containment AR1 in the case of a purge, but okay. And there's decall. So Angola, Nigeria. Interesting, goes Zaire, but normally you don't see that, but I guess it makes sense with Southeast Asia looking like it does. There's no need to go Burma.
But won't you go one to... Interesting play here.
So yeah.
You sure you want to put... Yes, Angola, Zaire, is that necessary? That's the question.
Yeah, normally it's not, but in this situation, I think it's fine. You could have also gone 1 South Africa, I guess. But 1 Zaire is fine, because you definitely have to get to Zaire by the end of the turn. So this
Yeah, that's
Removes
true.
that obligation.
Easy way. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Harib's just going to have to
there's
suck
nothing
it
to
up
break.
here and give Ziemowit an Asia Dom.
He should take Pakistan now. Oh, no, not yet.
Yeah, got to take a Middle East Dom first.
Oh, because IP War is not out, so Ziemowit was still pretty precautious about not entering it.
Yep, IP War's around. Ziemowit got off captured Nazi. Blockade.
So look like history just repeat and USSR just storming the board with VP.
Yep, so here we are. It's going to be, looks like a 6-point lead for Ziemowit heading into turn 3 with all the early war regions scored. But so Europe obviously looks better for Harib than it did for Ziemowit in game 1. But Ziemowit does get access and locks up 3 African battlegrounds.
Correct.
Not sure what you're
Well, history.
one op here. Maybe what, Jordan? Is it another one in France? What are you doing with your one op?
You can always put it in Malaysia. No, sorry, I mean Philippines.
Yeah.
He want to walk. You go Costa Rica walk.
Yeah.
That works too. Yep. I
And
guess.
Fidel is coming, I believe.
Okay, IP
Yes.
wall, defector. Okay, he knows that Ziemowit has CIA
Yep.
and D style. Okay.
Yep.
Yep. Defector is.
It's a great defectors. Defectors was a redraw, and obviously Duck not in Ziemowit's hands, so CIA not a safe headline. And there goes CIA. So I assume you take an Africa coup, and then you go into Colombia here on your AR.
Correct.
Harib, unfortunately, going to have to hand over another Asia domination.
Yep. That will be an other, 5 VP, right?
Yep, looks like 5 right now. Harib does have IP war, so Ziemowit. But Ziemowit's almost is not going to be entering Pakistan or India. He'll have the Dom without those countries. NATO is active. What would you do here, Wayne? Isn't this just a Nigeria coup?
Yeah, it is. It is a Nigeria coup. I think Harib is thinking about how he can defend these style and these monster ops. You know, at least you have ComCon, NATO, and then Warsaw. That's like 11 ops, and you can easily fill Mexico's, Brazil, Argentina, and Chile.
Yep.
So I think that's what Harib was thinking, how he can plan the next few move. I think. Oh, okay, he got it.
So he does take the Nigeria coup. Ziemowit, for his part, yeah, we're gonna be
overprotecting
here. That seems fine. Even
So,
there, and Harib now will want
Columbia
to,
walk.
He needs to go into Colombia. The question is, can he make some other kind of threat? What Harib would love to do is stop Asia Dom and get into Colombia on the same AR, but he's down 5 countries to 2 in Asia, so that's not going to be possible.
Can he break anything? No.
Nope.
Ideally, you walk to Colombia and break one battleground, forcing these style, make it a little more difficult. But
Zemo with a good overprotective North Korea, that turned out to be very important.
correct.
And so here we.
Well, but even so, Heli has no ops to attack North Korea. He actually go for the Asia Dom. Want to delay the D style. That's a pretty smart move, actually. What do you think?
Yeah, so this is a
He's
good
thinking.
Yeah, guess I wasn't thinking about this play. And again, this is why these two guys are the greatest, and I am not. But so yeah, this stops Asia Dom and forces Ziemowit to either destall and not score Asia Dom, or break South Korea, or go into Pakistan to reestablish. And Ziemowit is going to. Looks like Ziemowit's.
Well, Ziemowit but Ziemowit does not know Harib has Asia scoring, so he probably want to go for the board precision, what he always call it. So just go straight, yep. And then Harib actually discard, dump Asia scoring, which is a great move.
Yeah,
here.
Okay, so a good play by Harib to
excellent play.
Get out of the Asia Dom, but Ziemowit now gets an extremely powerful D-stall because he's going to be able to lock up Mexico, Venezuela, and all of South America with no interference from Harib. So Harib saves.
But I have a question. I have a question here. Won't you D-stall one to Cuba?
Oh,
instead of because Fidel just got discarded. I mean, there's no way you can actually get back to. I mean, I know they put one in Costa Rica already. What do you think?
That does make sense. Yeah.
For CMC, you always want to have something. You don't want to let USA get out of gunmen with CMC that easy, right?
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I mean, it's not like you need to fill in the Cuba with 2 more ops, but at least one access will be important.
Yep, Fidel was defected. So yeah, could have gone 1 Mexico, 1 Venezuela, 1 Chile, and 1 Cuba. Instead goes into Brazil. Hedging against
IP war hits.
So Harib goes for the IP war, hits the roll.
So that's a 4 VP. That's huge for the USA in the early war, particularly when you're so behind VPs.
Yep, and Harib,
looks like we actually have a longer game than last game, right?
Yep. So a nice play from Harib to stop Asia Dom, but in exchange, he gives up a clean D-stall into South America and Mexico. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Well, he does got UVOA, but it's not going to help. Oh, but he does have brush. That may help.
This is a lot of good, lot of bad, like I like to say sometimes. VOA and brush are excellent to have here. OPEC is great to have. I can get rid of it. Muslims is free. But South America scoring is the exact scoring he did not want to show up right now.
But what did US Ziemowit just headline? You know, he did it so quickly. I can't see.
Yeah, I was too focused on Harib's hand,
okay,
which is more interesting to me. But I think this has to be a VOA headline.
It has to be. It's the most volatile. You can attack, you can defend, whatever USSR, throw at you. So I think USA still VOA is the play. Yeah. Oh boy.
Purge. Okay.
Well, that's not that bad. You can space. There's a couple play. You want event. So. Yep. Okay, he want to go. What did he remove? Oh, Mexico and also the Brazil influence. Oh, it's a Q.
Yeah.
Okay, so that made that.
If you're Harib brush.
No. No. I would South Korean. I would just go for the. No. I would just go for the South Korean for free VP. That's just too much a gamble. That's like 10 VP and 3 VP difference. 7 VP difference. What do you think?
Well, it's 5 because if you score it now, if Harib had just scored it, then it would have been 5 VP because Harib is not a presence.
Oh, you're right. You're right. All right. You're right.
So it is a 5 VP difference. Wow. Yeah, but if you hit that brush, it's going to be even.
But you're right because he won an equal split with the upper, the north South Korean, the northern part and the southern part. Yep. Yes, but he did his best, but the die was not in his favor this time.
Yeah, J.R. Jones. Hope you're watching. J.R. Jones, a legendary misser on brush war. And that was as big as they come. If he hits that, South America goes off for even. Instead, it's going to be 10 or I suppose 8. Although which of these cards are you going to take presents with? Are you going to go into? I guess you could do it with Muslims. That's fine. This is almost a guilt-free 3.
It is a free Muslim, yes.
Well,
I'll go back to the going back to the brush topic. I thought that there's like a conspiracy saying that player often like to roll free in brush, so it will penalty if you got really greedy and go for just one adjacent battleground. Yep. Then you will miss your brush. Okay. A little Q. Well, I think Zimo is gonna score, and does he have more? Oh, he knows. He knows. He can read. Khalid has some.
Another one. 2 back-to-back ones in Colombia.
It's an ideal role in this case, like you said, don't you think?
Well, I think Jarib is able to, with the 1, Harib's able to go place influence back into Colombia and do other things. Ziemowit's going to score an Africa Dom here. You've got to think. Jarib obviously can't play C5. South African's annoying. OPEC, of course, is unplayable. So your last playable card here is US-Japan.
So 1 in Colombia, where else you want to go with those 2 ops?
Guatemala, I guess. You can't stop Africa Dom with... I mean, you could. You could go Saharan and Tunisia, but that you can't also get into Colombia.
Does not know. Well, since Ziemowit showed no signs he's holding Africa, so...
Yeah, he did immediately take Botswana, but Botswana was an important country anyway. He also cooed in Nigeria, which made sense. Yeah, Jarib is uncomfortable for him.
So what do you think?
I don't know what you're using your 4 ops here for, if not to go back into Colombia. I like Colombia. Okay, so we're gonna overprotect? That's a little weird. I would have thought about Guatemala maybe. But I guess he didn't want to allow a coup in Guatemala and then a jam of Mexico. So I guess perhaps that's why he's worried about that. Okay, I think you gotta... Okay, Jarib misses on the roll. Maybe he's thinking about Kennedy here and hoping Ziemowit gives it. But Ziemowit can space it if he has it now that he hit that roll. Yeah, Jarib really doesn't want to go down 14 VPs.
Likely though. Pretty strong Southern Africa now. Base, and he hits the row again. Yeah. Ooh, 16 VP.
Okay, so here we are, turn 5, and Jarib immediately in some trouble. He's got Middle East in his hand, which would, if scored right now, would be GG. However, Ziemowit, for his part, draws Europe and
which
Central America with no plan to get out of either, except he does have 5-year plan. So, now, I believe we saw CIA on turn 3. So, 5-year plan is known in Ziemowit's hand. Is that correct, Wayne?
Correct. He's been holding it.
I wonder if we will see grain on AR6 here to stop.
But what would you headline?
Yeah, if you... Yeah, could you headline...
What would you headline right now?
Yeah.
You do want to steal the queue, otherwise, you may let the USSR take Panama or with a queue. You never know. But on the other hand, actually, Ziemowit does have Asnot for this time.
Yep.
Oh, he actually headlined CA.
Okay, so Ziemowit headlines Central.
Which is least damage at the moment.
If so only Jarib had gone OAS. That would have been 5 VPs.
That will be 10. Yep.
Oh, it would just be 8.
Sorry, 8. Sorry,
5, 8 as opposed to 3. So an extra 5 VPs. But I can understand why he wouldn't do that. This CRG, very powerful in Southeast Asia, can also go into Burma. I think you've got to go Burma here to threaten Western Asia.
That could flip Asia.
Yeah, CRG very strong.
Now, would you protect your what would you do here with pretty much all regions scored, and now at Ziemowit's side you can you imagine yourself kind of 5-year plan dump Europe.
Yeah. He's just gonna coup.
Okay.
And Jarib is going to take countries in Southeast Asia.
is 5 VP. No, sorry. I mean, that's 5 ops. Yep.
Yeah, and that completely changes the balance of power there in Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia,
And
by
Asia.
my count, was 5 countries to 1. So it would have been 4 VP for Ziemowit, and now it is +1 for Jarib. If in fact he goes through with this China play.
What else you can do here, though? Well, you can do a lot, actually, though. Oh, okay. He does go for
Yeah, and that's immediate pressure on Ziemowit to take Pakistan.
for sure. Yep, 2.
This is what,
took
Pakistan at a Nigeria overprotect, perhaps?
Could be. There's you can also, yeah, exactly. Just only 3 ops. He pull out a 3 ops. So.
Now, as you said, Ziemowit now with Duck and with Duck, Sadat, and Kennedy in his hand. So Jarib might get out of this Middle East scoring here. And he's just going to go right back in. He will. Jarib needs to take that, but that still is not good enough to stop Dom.
Well, all of a sudden this turn, Asia just looked pretty blue from Asia down to pretty equal blue.
Yep, so CRG is quite a powerful headline. Okay, and there's Duck to space. He'll miss, but he does have the double. So the question is,
space again.
Is Ziemowit going to space again? And if Ziemowit gives Camp David here, then filling up, maybe you'll see Israel filled to stop Dom.
Yes, that would be. I think that's what Ziemowit is not happy about.
Yep.
I think Ziemowit may think, but then Ziemowit's hand is pretty tight as well. His sequence is gonna be delayed. Well, 5-year plan is gonna be the last AR, and then you want to give Kennedy as late as possible. So he has to play Camp David right now, actually.
Yeah, or space something. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Now this I suspect is going to be Camp David to protect both those.
To repair them.
Now we'll see what Jarib wants to do. Jarib wants Millops.
Botswana, you can coup.
Yeah, I think Harib's plan here.
Ooh, he is sorting VOA for the. Okay.
So
That
VOA
is a
can help in the
pretty-
Middle East. Now he's going to give Kennedy. Yeah, and that makes perfect sense. I think you
Middle East,
dump
yeah.
all of them, right?
Correct.
Yeah, you dump them all.
Ooh, powerful redraw.
Oh my
Yep.
goodness. Those are some redraws.
That's a great redraw, actually.
Yeah, Jarib could have used VOA in the Middle East on AR6 to get him out of that Dom, but now we're going to see if Jarib... Okay, this is going to be a grain event, and it's going to pull Europe.
Oh, phew.
Yeah, well, that's good.
You carefully read it. You carefully read it. Yep.
Great play. You get your 5 EP, but you just gave up 4 on Millops. So great job. You got your 5 VP out of Europe, but you just gave 4 of those back on Millops.
No. You can coup again. You still have a chance.
Oh, that's true.
It's still AR7.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's true. On AR6. No, you're right. I'm sorry.
Like you said, they calculated the AR.
So
Unless you...
sorry, I don't know what I was thinking here. This is not my best commentary. I've been on a little break from Twilight Struggle after I lost a bunch of games in a row, and it's showing. So
why not Ziemowit space Asna instead of playing it, eventing it?
Yeah, so he was nervous about. So yeah, he really wanted that coup on Lao.
Okay, maybe that's why.
He really wanted that coup on Lao.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it necessary though?
Maybe thought Jarib had gunmen, and that's why he did it.
Or SDA or something?
Okay. All right. So here we are. It's AR7. Jarib going to take a swing at Thailand. He's going to miss. but he does break it. And here we are, AR6. So Harib's going to give... All right, well, Harib got his 3. Harib got his 5 from Europe. He doesn't give up any points on mill-ups, but he is going to give up 3 for that We Will Bury You coup.
If. I doubt he would do that, though. I mean, he hardly brings down the VP to single digit. I don't think he wanted to raise it back up to 10.
Yeah, well, he just did take a We Will Bury You coup of Thailand. On this, so gunman against ABM. Okay, he takes the coup of Thailand.
Oh, I think, sorry. Okay.
So Harib goes Thailand with Southeast in Ziemowit's hand. That's certainly uncomfortable for Ziemowit. Because now Ziemowit dominated in Asia, and Southeast Asia not looking so good either. So I think Ziemowit's probably got a coup, and then, well, now you could fill Lao here in coup with a bigger card. I think that's what he's going to do. A for P is going to coup in Central. Anything but a 1.
Yep, okay. Makes it just 1. Mm-hmm.
He'll hand over 1 VP. Harib, for his part, is going to have to give 1 back. Give 3 back, excuse me. Yeah, there's Panama, and then a Lao flip.
That's the best use of VOA in this board anyway.
Definitely.
Right. Yeah. You definitely want to use it because you don't want to hold it till turn 7 and use it only once. You want to get you got it back to your hand again. So well, all of a sudden, Harib just take 2 turns to flip from USSR Dom Asia Dom to USA Asia Dom. Wow. That's pretty powerful and quick. Can you...
Yep. Okay. And now...
So I just noticed actually Harib still hasn't made his any space spot yet.
He has not, although Che's a good space card here, certainly.
So I think Cuba is timed pretty good to fill in. Oh, although Fidel is not out, but so maybe it's still too early. He can still have time to wait for that.
Yep, and Harib pushing hard here in Southeast Asia. Ziemowit with the scoring. He had to stop those realigns on Nigeria. Now, he could have stopped them by coupping Colombia and threatening Panama, but still, Nigeria, a very important country right now. Everything scored at the moment, other than Southeast Asia, which is sitting in Ziemowit's hand. Now everything is scored.
Yep.
At this point,
what do you think about this?
Missile Envy is probably a good hold here with We Will Bury You.
Correct.
On. So I think this is probably maybe an AR. Maybe you put Bear Trap back in the deck. Brezhnev AR7 hold Missile Envy.
Bear Trap for Saudi. What do you think about this move?
I'm fine with it because I think you want, if you're going to Bear Trap, you want to Bear Trap AR7, but you also want to use Brezhnev AR7.
Brezhnev,
I'm getting that back in the deck.
No, but then also because of, you're right, because you may not want to event Bear Trap because since USSR has hit space 4 already, you don't want them to easily discard one of those 2 ops card.
Okay, so here we go. Yeah, and this will be Brezhnev. Question is, where is it going to go? You can't really jam. Yeah, the Uruguay play was good because otherwise a Brazil or Argentina jam would work very well. Believe we have not seen Punta yet. So that's coming.
Correct.
That, I believe, is coming next turn. So you could take Israel here for a Middle East Dom. You could poke or jam. You could jam Pakistan if you wanted, but that's not going to change the Asia situation. Could fill up Cuba, but Fidel's coming back. What do you like here, Wayne?
I'm also looking at the card and see I may just break. I'm actually kind of want to go for the South America one, and then going for Argentina break, and hoping Juanita's on my hand, and I can actually get the out of the South American control situation. What do you think?
Yeah, this is tough here. I don't mind this.
Safe play, Middle East and Europe. Yeah.
Oh, Africa.
Oh boy.
A grain redraw. And who?
Pretty good hand. And defector. You got a lot of great headline here.
Yep. So, okay. Some nice redraws for Jarib. So he's happy to get Junta. Not so happy probably to get Africa.
And then Simo, on the other hand, he can probably lead the headline, maybe Quack. So what would your headline here?
I think doesn't it have to be grain to coup Africa?
True. He's also thinking about what's the possible headline or known card for Ziemowit. Panama, CMC. Well, actually, no. I think he knows what 6 or 7 card of Ziemowit's hand, maybe. Right.
Yeah, I think Fidel is a nice redraw for Ziemowit as well. Okay, Quagmire makes sense. Nuke subs, though. Ooh. This isn't a great nuke subs hand issue.
Do you want to queue or event? Yeah. Do you want to event it? No, you probably want to.
Yeah, I think you want to get your coup in now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You got to get out of the Quagmire. You got a coup.
Yeah. Okay.
This, like I said, this isn't a great nuke subs hand. I don't think.
No. Ooh, he does nuke subs.
Okay.
He does evented it. He's going for the 10 VP control, maybe he's thinking. Well, Allende you can queue, our man you can queue, Sotkov, you may.
Libs will be discarded to the Quagmire. Oh, okay, and Ziemowit's taking his coup right away, going to take in an Algeria.
Oh, okay. Get out of the quag. Yeah, free ops take. Algeria. Oh, realignment. Misses. Oh, that could be decisive. And the row. Ooh.
Also misses.
All right, I think the Africa is not. How many? Okay, this is already AR3. Another realign. Gets it. Hits right back.
But Jarib's still dominated here in the Middle East. Excuse me, in Africa.
Yeah.
There's China gonna flip. No, gonna just jam Asia. And Jarib has to ignore that.
Well, he knows Ziemowit is still holding puppet, so maybe he's gambling while betting. Let him holding it. Well, I mean, by eventing nukes nuclear, you kind of tell your opponent, right?
Yeah. Oh, a puppet's not a good card to have to give here with the Africa situation like it is.
But again, but he has no choice though. Ziemowit has to event. Oh, Jarib is going for the 6.
Jarib is getting a little greedy here, but I don't blame him because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he's got 7 countries to 4. So even a successful coup in Africa doesn't stop Dom.
Yeah. Get the China card back, and then event Africa scoring. Yep, for 4 VP.
Okay, well played by Jarib. He does get out of the Dom, even though his coups were terrible. I'm not sure that Nuke Subs event worked out well for him at all. He also lost India over it. But now we'll see if he can make some noise here in Central. Oh, in South, and he does. Okay, and here we go to turn 8, and wow, Central scoring comes up. And Harib's going to be sad to see Ziemowit playing Fidel.
Yep. Wow, on the other hand, Ziemowit has a pretty strong hand, right? And let me see. Quite a lot of ops, I see. Now, with only free board turn, would you actually event NORAD? Would you mind, or are you still not wanting the bother to have to giving that odd advantage to USA?
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay. So I guess this is we're going to go with a Yuri headline.
Okay.
I wonder if and he does get out right away.
Yeah, right. Okay. Gonna get a coup. More in Africa. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That also secured the Africa dorm. Okay.
Yeah, and I think Ziemowit now he cannot take.
He would just take Brazil.
He's just going to take Brazil.
Oh no.
Okay. Going to take that now. Yeah, and now you do.
That guy just wanted to whoever going to realign go first.
Yep. And so Jarib will get his realigns in first. And that's a good play by Jarib because he knows Ziemowit. If Ziemowit has Fidel, he's got to event it, or he can give up the realigns, no problem, and then he scores an immediate 8 VPs. Oh, and he gets hits on the first roll. Wow.
Oh wow. Interesting play here.
Okay, an inactive Glasnost event to get DEF CON up to 6.
And also luring Jarib to Q to give it one more VP. Yep. That's the plan.
Yep. And so if Jarib now coups, Ziemowit
and giving up
7. Now Ziemowit does not have war games, but Jarib doesn't know that.
But I think that's the part that he knows that a little bit mind games right here, I guess. See?
Yeah.
So it's not inactive. So actually, Glass not actually granted USSR to Q again, which is not the case often. Well played by Ziemowit on this one. Yeah, very well played.
That's a good play. And Ziemowit also, he misses on the coup. Now, important to know, folks, that Ziemowit is the lower seed. So Jarib does not have to worry about a War Games tie at this point.
Okay. A tie, that means that he actually won the series.
Tie is effectively a win for Jarib. But Ziemowit still wants as many VPs as he can possibly get.
Mm. Well, he just ties Europe. Yeah. He ties Asia, and then now he ties Middle East now. So the only problem is the Middle East, the North Europe now.
Yeah, well, Jarib is ahead battlegrounds in Central. He's ahead battlegrounds in Africa and in Europe. Middle East and South America and Asia are all even. So he could do this, but I think you could also just fill Taiwan, right?
Formosan, yes, it's active.
Formosan is in effect. Shuttle is huge right here. Shuttle is large card here. Would give Jarib Dom in the Middle East, and now he already has Dom in Asia, but would maintain his Dom in Asia even if India is fixed.
In finance, yeah. Ooh, there's AA remix in Ziemowit's hand, and I think that's a no-brainer headline, right?
Yeah, Ziemowit with headline peak. What's Jarib gonna headline? So I guess AWACS is such a lame headline. You make Muslims obviously unplayable here. You want to use, I assume what you want to do is you want to use Debt Crisis to dump Reform. You want to space decall. And you
Summit.
Summit. Here we go.
Well, you got a +2. You got a +2 row modifier.
It's a +3. But Ziemowit.
Oh, you're right. +3 for it.
Is going to headline How I Learned and try the Hail Mary here. Jarib, for his part, probably worried about a situation where Ziemowit picks up a couple of VPs.
Let's see if do it. Oh.
And Jarib rolls.
Here's the way. Okay. Let's see if Stupid Luck can decide. Oh my God, my heart.
Yeah. He saw the three differential.
Would that have been funny? Yep. I think Ziemowit was afraid of being defected or something, right? Why would he not?
Well, no. Ziemowit had, because remember, Ziemowit had headline peak. So Ziemowit headline learned so that Summit would win him the game if he got a huge roll. He would have had to beat Harib's roll by 4. So it had to be a 5-1, a 6-1, or a 5 or a 6-2. So only 3 combinations of rolls out of 36, a 1 in 12 chance for Ziemowit to win the game right there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you've got to take your 1 in 12, particularly on this board.
Got it.
You currently have 0 dominations, and Jarib has 3.
A winning percentage is a winning percentage.
Yep.
Right.
So Aldrich is now gone. Jarib in a good spot here.
It is. The board is tilted to the blue now. Somehow Jarib managed to fight every region back, and it's not looking good to Ziemowit now.
Yeah, Ziemowit got steamrolled in the first one, and this second game not looking good for him either. However, War Games still very much on the table. Let's be very clear about that. So I believe Gunman is in the deck, but Jarib has China, Cultural, and Aldrich are gone, as is Hostage Crisis. So unless Jarib gives up China and then is subsequently terrorized with Gunman in his hand turn 10, DEFCON's not going to be a problem for him. But War Games very much in play for Ziemowit. We have not seen War Games. Ziemowit up by 4 VPs, potentially 2 more in his hand with IP War. He can hold Kitchen, and then, of course, space for 4 VPs. Jarib, for his part, has no VPs in his hand other than a potential successful space roll.
Well, and like you said, he probably would event shuttle in this turn, right?
Yep. So he's gonna. Yeah, this is a problem. You don't want to give up an active reformer. You really can't give up an active reformer. So if you could use Debt Crisis to dump it. And this is also another one. Is how bad is decall really? Do you think about giving that up?
The problem with decall is because of 2 ops. There are 2 ops of deficit. You don't want to. You don't have the ops to repair.
Yeah. You don't have the ops to repair Muslims either is the issue. This will take back India. Yeah, and there goes
Shuttle in effect.
Makes perfect sense. Jarib needs to, for his part, Harib's got to get a coup. IP War's got to be an event. This should go Pakistan, and it will, and 4 hits.
Yeah,
yes.
Hits.
So that is important. Those 2 VPs could be huge here. Ziemowit going to hold Kitchen for sure.
He can. Will you space this turn or no?
I think you've got to space. If you're going to space for sure. Okay, he's going to dump Muslims to get his mill ops. Ziemowit must have these VPs. He gets them. Okay.
Oh, he gets them. Okay.
That's huge. So now...
War Games. That's what Ziemowit is with.
On the VP track. So even a shuttleated Middle East Dom does not stop War Games. A shuttleated Asia Dom does. And then, of course, a Europe Dom would stop it as well. Yeah, I think no. I think Jarib has to let. I think he's got to let Algeria go and do that. Yeah, yep, 100%.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep.
Now Glasnost is gone, so Reformer. You really don't want to give up a 6-op Reformer, though, man. That's.
Well, it's the thing is that Jarib has already overprotect the battleground, and so he's manageable.
Yeah. So the 6-ops would almost certainly all go into the Mediterranean countries, I would think.
Correct. Yep. To kind of fight for the country count.
Yeah.
Well, to go to West Germany for sure.
Yeah, that could be as well.
But Jarib has already invented Marshall, so he can still, with Reformer, he can still repair and keep his Europe dom after this turn. So that's not the end of the world yet.
Yep. Okay. Che, I wonder if this takes Cuba. No, going to flip over Algeria. That stops dom. Jarib has to space. And now the question is, will Jarib pass on his AR7 or will he play China? I think you have to pass and hold on to China. Don't you? Yeah, with gunmen.
Yeah.
With the gunman situation.
Yep.
And Ziemowit saves
Discard.
the kitchen. Do we see war games in Ziemowit's hand? We do. Oh, awful hand for Ziemowit, other than war games. But do we see anything in Harib's hand that can stop war games?
You have ABM to raise DEFCON once.
ABM can raise DEFCON. What's the flower power situation?
Flower power is active, I think.
Yeah, I think it's active as well. So the war. So thank you to executive producer Anton Scott for showing Ziemowit's hand at the on the right. But it's blocking out whether flower power is effective. In effect, I believe it is. So you can't use the war to pick up VPs. Otherwise, you could theoretically headline the war, succeed on the war, and then Reagan bombs gets you to 6. Special's not active. Evil Empire headline.
If it did, I have nothing to do.
Yeah,
well, he heard us. Wait, Jarib heard us.
You have Evil Empire. Evil Empire, and then a successful war.
But look at Ziemowit's hand. Actually, if he has no war game, that's a pretty miserable GG hand for him.
That is a terrible hand.
You got 5-year plan, cow, and duck.
Yeah, an Evil Empire headline for Jarib, though, would have gotten him a VP. Prevents Ziemowit from using Cal. You can headline an active Cal, send DEFCON down to 2, and but that would have gotten the VP track to 6. Not good enough. Okay, there is U2 incident, so he's going to pick up another VP on that.
So does that give the tell that he has? I mean, as a USSR, you seldom headline U2. Although this hand, in Jarib's perspective, he does not know. There's not a good headline for Ziemowit. Yeah.
So the question here is does Jarib clearly have this in final? Middle East and Asia are even. Africa, figure that's 4. Europe is 9. It would be extremely close in final. Ziemowit, for his part, doesn't know where Europe's scoring is. He doesn't know where terrorism is. Okay, Ziemowit going to try a coup. Oh, a big roll.
Ooh, wow, big one. Yes.
Roll.
And it's a reasonable roll as well, of course.
Yeah.
To go for Middle East, Egypt.
Now Middle East is even.
And will you coup back?
Yeah.
Or you just fill?
Yeah, if Jarib comes back, that's GG. But even if he doesn't,
that's GG
anyway. Okay, so Ziemowit worms his way out of this one and escapes with a War Games victory. This one looked like it was going to be very close in final. I think I like Jarib's chances a little bit better. Actually, scratch that. Ziemowit was cooked in final because he has 5-year plan Soviet shoot down Cal and Duck.
And Duck.
So if Ziemowit
and the space row, look at that. Yeah.
In final, he would have had to
Headline Cal.
he would have he would have he with ABM he wouldn't have to. He could.
Oh yeah, true. That's true. True.
He could space Cal and then he would have to trigger Duck. But Ziemowit said, you know what? I'm gonna it's war games or bust here. And Ziemowit, Cal would have been GG, even an active Cal, which would have been funny. But that was an entertaining one.
That's it. Harib was saying that space to us is huge because it actually allows Ziemowit to also dump, not only gaining the 4 VP for the space, and then also dumping the kitchen debate for 2. So that's actually 6 VP.
Yep.
That's huge as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, congratulations to Ziemowit for sneaking out a victory here.
Congratulations.
Now let's be very clear. This would have been close in final. Ziemowit was up 10 VPs. Harib has 4 in Africa. 5 in Europe. Asia and Middle East were even, but Harib with VOA turned 10. So even if Ziemowit wasn't in a DEF CON situation, the VOA turn 10 likely would have, almost certainly would have given Harib the victory. Ziemowit, of course, didn't know he had VOA, and Harib didn't know Ziemowit had DEF CON problems. But this would have been a win for Harib in final. Instead, we will see you, well, as I like to say, we will see you tomorrow night when a series goes the distance. But we will not necessarily see you tomorrow night. We'll see you as soon as these games, as soon as Game 3 is played. We will try and get it on the air for you as quickly as humanly possible. But a great game, very entertaining one. Wayne, any final thoughts before we wrap up?
I was just reading that these two giants chatting. They're saying a lot of mistakes, and he say he has Evil Empire and Reagan, and then Harib saying he didn't make a mistake in Cuba. If I had just gone Nicaragua plus Haiti and have won this game, what do you think about this remark?
Yeah, so Harib thinking if he had gone into, instead of filling up Cuba, he could have gone into Nicaragua and Haiti first, and then he would have gotten off central control, or he would have at least been able to realign Ziemowit out of Cuba and get a bigger number in central.
And then prevent losing by war games, right?
Yes, but then Ziemowit gets his realigns in on South America first, presumably flips out. That's an 8 VP swing in South America, right?
Correct.
In final. Now, South America scoring didn't come back, so that's key as well. So he wouldn't have lost on war games, but maybe if South America scoring comes back and it's 8 and it's 8 and then it's another 8 in final, that could have been big as well. I don't know if it was a mistake. It was just kind of it was like, if you have Fidel, you have to play it, and then I get my realigned.
Yeah, I see.
It was less a mistake and more just a gamble or / a bit of a trade. So,
but it's always interesting to see what these players in their mind now. They're sharing their thoughts with each other, and as a viewer, we can always see how they play, and that's how we learn from ARCs. As always,
Yep. Yeah, certainly an interesting game. One that I'm glad we were able to broadcast here on ARZ, and some interesting plays by these players. Some plays we disagreed with. Some plays that frankly we didn't notice until they made them, and that's what makes them so great at this game. So. But that is going to do it for our coverage of this game. Thank you to both of these players for sending in the video. Thank you to Wain for joining me on commentary. Thank you to our executive producer,
and also thank you to one of the greatest commentator, Justin Abramson.
Thank you, Wain.
Thank you.
And thanks, of course, most of all to you for listening. Hope you enjoyed this game as much as we enjoyed bringing it home to you. But that's going to do it. For Wain Yee, this is Justin Abramson signing off. That was fun, but now it's done. So long, everybody.
I heard a young father, a very prominent young man in the entertainment world, addressing a tremendous gathering in California. It was during the time of the Cold War, and communism and our own way of life were very much on people's minds, and he was speaking to that subject. And suddenly, though, I heard him say, I love my little girls more than anything, and I said to myself, oh no, you don't say that. But I had underestimated him. He went on, I would rather see my little girls die now, still believing in God, than have them grow up under communism and one day die no longer believing in God. Above it all, to ignore the facts of history and the aggressive impulses of an evil empire, to simply call the arms race a giant misunderstanding, and thereby remove yourself from the struggle between right and wrong.